All right. Spontaneous as this is. Today's February 19th, 2026. It is going on 7:19, or I should say 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And ever since this last week when I announced that I did not want to continue producing counter-apologetic content in live stream form on YouTube, I've lost one subscriber per day on average, every day. Here's the thing, and I thought that I made this clear when I made the announcement. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm not trying to stop producing any content at all. I'm switching the kind of content that I make, and I think it probably makes sense to start a new channel for that, though I suppose I could try it here. Don't necessarily know that it matters what channel I do it under, right? Maybe the algorithm will treat me better if I start fresh. Maybe the algorithm will treat me better if I just build into this space and people that don't like it can leave. But nobody's going to have an opportunity to find out where the new channel is at, what the new channel is about, get the link for it, get the announcement for it. If they unsubscribe, people are unsubscribing in protest. There's no other way to explain it rationally. They're like, how dare you not be the dance monkey that I came here for to suit my particular interests or a particular niche? How dare you, sir? I'm taking my algorithm vote with me, my algorithm ball, and I'm going home. Well, fine, take it personal, right? But anybody else, I honestly wish that YouTube would give me a list of who's left so that I know who was here for the wrong damn reason in the first place. Good riddance. But I'll say again to anybody thinking about hitting the unsubscribe button, if you aren't here, then you won't get the announcement when I start the new channel or repurpose the channel, whatever I decide to do. I already know what I want it to be about. I want it to be about life. I want it to be about the journey of discovery of identity and value and relationship. I want it to be the things that matter more and the things that won't piss people right the hell off when I talk about them. Hello, Jimmy, and hello, Cameron Bennett. Good to see you. Oh no, he's back. There goes my diabolical plan to take over the world. Well, I won't stand in your way. And in fact, I'd like to take advantage of that ground floor opportunity, Jimmy. Just when you're ready, count me in. So, in the meantime, I am going to ask all of the channels that I've been involved with over these past 5 years, I would say, if they would consider removing my name from the titles and descriptions. They can keep the content. People log into it. They happen to click on it. They see me. Oh, there's the James at persona non grata asshole. Fine, great. No problem. But there's been any number of times, any number of circumstances in my journey of the past 5 years, mostly the past 3.5 years, where people would Google me to find out something about me. I piqued their interest in some ways. One time I got medical transport to a surgery that I needed across state. I didn't want to have to drive that far. I wasn't up to it because I needed surgery. The guy that drove me there had started a conversation with me. And fine, great, passes the time, love it. During the conversation, he became more and more religious in his dialogue. And what he revealed to me is that he was a hardcore religious fundamentalist of the Christian extremist variety who's super paranoid about anybody that's not part of his subcultural niche. And by then he already knew that I was on Facebook. He knew my name because he's the guy that picked me up. He Googled me, he looked me up, he looked up my Facebook. And I don't know, maybe he found something on YouTube too, but he only admitted the Facebook thing. He's like, well, I'm going to check you out on Facebook. I'm like, no, I don't need you to. We're good. He's like, no, I don't mind. I'm like, great. Well, I don't have a chance to go hide shit on Facebook. I'm at the hospital now. He's going to find whatever he's going to find. When I went to go leave from that appointment to call up the agency, they're like, well, our office, they decided to drop you. We're here's the number to the other transportation company that's going to drive you home. Apparently, the guy was so offended by the things that I'd said on social media about his religion, which wasn't about him at all, couldn't have been, that he didn't even wanna ride home with me after that. It's just one of many times in my journey where somebody has either themselves found something about me on social media that was problematic for them, and all of a sudden, they didn't wanna do business with me, they didn't wanna whatever with me. It's a risk that I take every time, right? But it occurred to me along the way that it would be in my best interest if I stopped putting my name to that kind of content. That I shouldn't keep posting that to Facebook. That I shouldn't keep streaming under my own name and voice and image on YouTube with that kind of content. But it occurred to me also lately that I just feel like even though the world is better off with me in it, the tinier world, the microcosm of the atheosphere of YouTube is definitely better off without me in it. Not only is that gonna be healthier for me, but again, I'm not really bringing value to that space. There are things about me, about my personality, my lived experience, my insights, my knowledge that do have value. I don't know how marketable it's gonna be, but there's value. That just doesn't have a whole lot of relevance to talking about religion. There's always something in every monologue I've ever done. There's a moment here and a moment there where I say something, an insight that I share about religion that directly comes from my insights about relationship, about love, about family, about justice, about anything personal or conceptual, right? And so there's these elements of my experience and the way that I think, the way that I carry that with me in my journey, that it does show itself in the monologue. It's not divorced from it. But the point is that I could be sharing the parts that matter most of my own experience, my own wisdom, my own insight, right? In a context where it's not trying to say anything about religion directly, right? Here's what I've learned about relationship. Here's what I've learned about love and commitment and loyalty and loss and mourning and social divisions and consequences. And here's what I've learned about how to engage with these with our life in a healthy way. Where I don't need to be talking about religion in order to have the discussion, right? And with that, I would also like to have a channel where I can have people on for a discussion. I don't mind monologuing. Anybody knows here that you can give me a topic, let me go, or I give myself a topic, right? Nobody picks them for me. And I can go for hours. Just the other day, Derek was saying that it's exhausting for him to like talk for a few hours. And I'm like, shit, I'm just getting started at the 3 hour mark. What are you talking about? Right? And just one of those people where I don't run out of stuff. It's quantity over quality, to get me wrong, but it's stuff. And I just feel like, I have these discussions over there, on High Local, which is a very obscure little, language learning voice platform. And the discussions that I have there are fulfilling in a way that monologues about religion are not. And over there, I get so many compliments, like such over the top compliments that I'm left blushing in embarrassment. And it's not that I need the compliment, but for me, it's affirmation of the fact that I'm shining in that context of conversation in a way that I don't shine in the context of a monologue about religion. So over there, I can talk about relationship. I can talk about the journey, right? You talk about the insights that I've gleaned along the way. I can map them out in a cohesive way, and I can do it as part of an actual discussion, right? A flow between two people, a flow state, journey of discovery between two people on the issues that matter most. And it's just so completely different of an experience for me. And I feel like, I would rather have that all day, every day than monologue about how dumb religions are, right? And that's just where I'm at about it. And again, all the religion-specific stuff, the counter-apologetic parts, are pretty much the same you guys have heard anyplace else, right? I repeat myself way too often in this space. I say things you've heard 1,000 times from other people anyways. Like, what's it worth, really? So, again, if anybody wants to, unsubscribe, unfollow, take your algorithm ball and go home, screw the James guy. I get it, right? If I'm not your dance monkey performing as you think that I should while you throw little peanuts at my feet, then, well, it just is what it is. But for the people that were here for the right reasons, those are the people that aren't hitting the unsub button. Because I've already said that I do plan on either repurposing this channel or launching a brand new channel, and they're not going to hear about it if they're gone, right? So, again, we all make decisions, and I've made mine. So I've only got one person in here, going on for 11 minutes. That's it. That's just all I needed to say today. I'm going to leave this here. Whoever sees it, sees it. I did write a blog. I've been writing way too many, in fact, where I explain my theory of the Jesus, who he was, what he was. Piecing so this is how I interpret the stories, right? And how it applies to the larger concerns I have about life and authority and structure. If anybody's curious, you can go read it. If you're not, then you're not. I could have read it here, but it would take hours to go through it, and I don't know that it's gonna matter, right? It just matters. I like it. I like writing it. It's therapeutic. It's cathartic for me to talk about like what I think about these things, and it shows something about me. It's not just about theories about religion. It's about how me as a person, how I relate to concept, how I process, how I digest, how I make sense of social structures, political structures, and how what that has to do with my framing and my journey, right, of identity and value and relationship. And I always hope that that carries over. That people are like, okay, I see this structure, this narrative structure. It's about religion and or religious figures or concepts. But within that structure, you see me expressing how I make sense of the world and myself. And that's the part that matters to me, to be seen, to be heard, to be understood, for people to find value in it. But I think quite often in the atheosphere, people get so distracted with the religion specific bits in that framing that they don't even notice what it reveals about me. They don't even notice the parts that are my wisdoms, if you want to call it that, that exist independently or have value, or meaning independent of the religion that they're challenging. And I just think a lot of people, they just don't even notice that. They only see it as potentially useful, as leverage in a culture war between skeptics and religious people. But there it is. I mean, again, the blog was posted to my thing today. I don't want to do a stream about it because it would go on for hours, and I don't think that I would be heard the way that I want to be heard, and so it's just there. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. It's 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna close it out for here and leave it at that. All right, thanks.